Yo, what is up guys? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. And since launch up until today, I've put in about 5 to 6 prestige levels worth of time into this game already, which I would like to think is a hell of a lot more than most, and between both consoles in terms of that amount of time played. So I wanted to kind of help give everybody some Call of Duty Black Ops 4 medicine, because quite frankly we need some medicine from this game, because this game is such a mixed bag in terms of its inconsistencies, the omissions, the additions, and everything in between, connections, you name it, like you just name it, everything, that quite frankly a lot of us, at least half the time, end up getting pissed off with a game, and we're not having the kind of fun that we should have, and quite frankly it could make us sick, especially for those of us that are longtime fans of the franchise, longtime fans of the game itself, and we're always used to playing at a certain level, but yet at the same time there's just so many inconsistencies that it pisses us off, and it pisses us off more than the norm. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents in terms of what you can do to minimize the frustrations and at the same time maybe have a little bit more fun, as well as a couple of bits and pieces of advice from a gameplay standpoint that can actually help you a little bit. So without wasting any further time with the intro conversation, let's get straight into the meat and potatoes of this commentary. So obviously the first thing you want to do is, I know it's easier said than done, especially for those of us that have been at it for a while and that have reached a certain level of skill with this game, but you're gonna have to throw your pride out the window with this game. It's not, and remember guys and gals, especially guys, because we have this kind of mentality and fantasy in mind, and that is, it's not like we're gonna get a message from our dream girl over Xbox Live or PlayStation Network that's basically gonna be like, oh my gosh, I was in your game, you dropped a nuke on our team, you got a really high score, man, I'm so turned on by this, I'm just, oh my gosh, can you like tell me where you live so I can come over and suck you off, and you can bury the mushroom tip in and leave them nuts hanging out, and we can just fuck all day because you got a nuke and that fucking turns me on. That shit is just not gonna happen, okay? I mean, seriously. That is 99.999% not going to happen, and that's the reality of the world we live in, okay? And I'm sure at one point in time or another, whenever we're in a weird state of mind, especially the way us guys are, I'm sure in our fantasy that would be nice for something like that to happen, right? For a dream girl or whatnot to see your gameplay or whatnot, and she just wants to come over and go out on a date with you and kiss you and just fuck the shit out of you because you got a good gameplay or whatnot, but that shit just is not going to happen. So in other words, what I'm trying to tell you is, for most of us, for 99% of us, being good at the game doesn't really mean shit, and it's basically it's a pride thing basically. So that's why I said originally we need to take our pride out the window, because quite frankly at the end it's just a video game. It's not going to make any difference to your personal life. It's the only people that have an excuse is that 1%, those pros, the guys that actually play for championships and play for money and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there are a few content creators as well, ones that specifically revolve around good gameplay in pubs or whatnot, but for the most part, even to that extent, that's even debatable. But the thing is, for the most part, the guys that only have the excuse are pros. So those are the only guys that should be taken at the absolute most seriously, and those are the guys that should be legitimately pissed off when things are just not right about the game. But unfortunately, that is not the way that's not the kind of world we live in, even though it kind of should be. But the thing is, people are passionate about this game, which is why I'm making this video in the first place. And myself, I'm one of these people included. And I've done a lot of the things that I'm about to tell you in this commentary. As a matter of fact, I've done them all. And it works, and it makes my experience with the game a lot better, and I don't have to worry about my blood pressure raising God knows how much whenever I get pissed off with the game. So let's move on to the next few points, because there's a few more things I want to talk about. Turn down your sensitivity. This game is more about staying on target rather than turning on people. You're not going to turn on people all that much in this game. I don't care how many YouTube videos you've seen and all that kind of stuff. That stuff is just not going to happen nearly as much and nearly as consistently as it was in previous Call of Duties, because of the way the health system works and all that kind of other stuff, and then the other things that have been added, like the specialists that give you an even bigger health boost, or the body armor and all that kind of other stuff. So it's just not going to happen. So I would turn down your sensitivity 1 to 2 points, and because the last thing you want is to get in a gunfight with somebody, and then you hit all your bullets, and all of a sudden towards the end of that gunfight you just need 1 or 2 more bullets to finish them off, and then all of a sudden you're off target because of that sensitivity. Because for the longest time we've been used to a faster time to kill in Call of Duty, to where we can actually get away with playing on a higher sensitivity. But right now in this game, no matter what kind of sensitivity player you are, whether you're higher or lower, you want to go 1 or 2 points down lower than what your normal sensitivity would be. And plus, sometimes the aiming in this game just feels little bit different. I mean, it feels familiar, but then there's a little bit of a difference. So yeah, that's one of the biggest tips right there from a gameplay standpoint. Up to the next one is if you're using slow-firing weapons like the Rampart or an LMG, for instance, lead your shots. If somebody is strafing or if you're shooting at them from the side and they're running, obviously, shoot a little bit in front of your target so that way your bullets will register, because one of two things are going to happen if you try to hit center mass, with this game at least, is that your hit detection is either going to be delayed or they're just not going to be registering at all, and it's going to seem like your enemies are going to be outrunning your bullets or whatnot, or your bullets are just moving too slow to catch up to them. So what you want to do is you want to lead your shots a little bit, and it will make a difference, and it does make a difference. I myself have been using some LMGs. I think it was the Titan or whatnot, and trust me when I tell you, this is a technique that you're definitely going to want to use. But if you're facing somebody head on or whatnot, then you're good. But if they're strafing side to side, again, same kind of mentality. A little bit of leading your shots can definitely help. All right, let's move on to the next one, and that is use everything. I know that there's certain pieces of equipment or certain specialists that a lot of us that are good at the game or whatnot, we're just swearing to ourselves not to use. But I think we can make an exception this time with this game. And the reason for this is simple. They've added in all these things, and it's creating an inconsistency in terms of gameplay or whatnot, to the point to where there's really not much, if at all, anything you can do about it unless you use that and throw it right back in their face. And they're there, and you might as well use them. And quite frankly, the enemy team or the enemy players are going to be using all the crazy shit against you. So why not use it against them? And as I mentioned, Call of Duty is not a fair game. It really isn't, especially when it comes to pubs. So therefore, why not use everything that you can at your disposal? You want to use a dog? Go right ahead. Get those mesh mines out there, use them, because they're going to use it against you, and you're going to die against those things multiple times. So you might as well get your hits in as well. All right. And the last thing is just don't focus on winning and / good gameplay. That will come in time, because the game is inconsistent. So therefore, if the game is inconsistent, then therefore you're going to have your good games and your bad games. But the most important thing, especially when it comes in relation to this commentary, is not to get so frustrated to where it consistently brings out the worst in you, and on top of that, to where it makes you sick. You do not want that. You don't want a video game to make you sick. As a matter of fact, you want a video game to do the opposite. You're playing a video game to have fun. At least 99.9% of us are playing a video game to have fun. Content creator or not. You're playing a video game to have fun, and that's the reason why you started playing games in the first place. So as long as that remains our base, and as long as we keep our head in that area and our mentality that way, then we shouldn't get sick playing this game, regardless of its inconsistencies right now at this point in time. But anyway, guys, I hope you got something out of this video. Let me know down in the comment section what your experience with the game was. What do you and if you try some of these things, and if they work out really well for you or whatnot, let me know down in the comment section, or if you've tried them already before I even made this commentary. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, let me know, and if you didn't, let me know what I could do to make my videos better. I'll catch you guys on the next one.